Matthew Culbertson, and today I want to do a comprehensive review of this 3V Cold Steel Trailmaster. So first off, why would you want to pick this knife? How do I see this being used? Where's its place? And so this is a great general purpose Bowie. It can fight, it can survive, it's mid-size, it's large enough to get big things done, but it's also not so big enough where it's really going to weigh you down. So here it is against a 3V Gurkha Kukri Plus. This can obviously out-chop this Trailmaster right here, but let me tell you something, this thing is hard to carry and it's really cumbersome, but when it comes to big, huge tasks, man, this thing can get the job done. This is a 3V SRK, very tough survival rescue knife. Absolutely great design, but when it comes to bigger tasks, such as fighting and a lot of survival, yeah, this can get a lot of work done, but ultimately this is going to out-chop it. So this is the middle ground right here. This is a very tough design. It's not a pure fighting Bowie, although it can fight. This particular version right here comes with a fully sharpened false edge for those back cuts and also piercing tasks, but it's also very thick, and so you can pry with the tip. I don't recommend that you pry with the tip, but this being a general purpose design, it has a very, very robust tip. Just to kind of also let you know that a lot of the other 3V and 4034 Taiwanese production knives, here's a 4034 Natchez. Let's do some size comparisons. They all came with great false edges, including the SRK. All right, so I'm just going to do some more size comparisons. This is the Laredo Bowie. Again, this is 3V, one of my favorite Bowies right here, pure fighter. This is a 10.5-inch blade. This is a 9.5-inch blade, and came with a great false edge. I really enjoy how this thing came with an expertly sharpened false edge. It will grab your thumbnail. It'll cut you, all right? The great thing is, if you don't like it, you can take it to a piece of steel or ceramic and you can take that false edge right off, but I really enjoy that they put that thing on there. Here's an older model right here. This is an American-made Carbon V version with a brass guard. This is a stainless guard. You can see that the false edge on this, I got it used, but it is dull and it's very rounded. And I can tell you, I've owned several different Trailmasters. I've owned the SK5 version that was made in China. I've owned the Japanese version, Sami 3. I'll make a point of that here in a second. But this one absolutely came with the sharpest back cut that I've ever seen a Trailmaster come with, including, like I said, this, which normally SRKs don't come with a sharpened back cut, but this one did, and I really appreciate that. Back to the comparison between the American-made versus this Taiwanese CPM 3V. This one's running at about 16.5 ounces. This one's running at 17.5 ounces. This one's just, it's old. I can tell the fit and finish is better on this Taiwanese version. The Japanese fit and finish on the Sami 3 is very good. And the Chinese one, it was good, but it's nothing compared to this Taiwanese version. And so the guard is very well done. The guard on this 3V one is actually longer. Okay, so when it comes from a combative standpoint, you're going to want that bigger guard. This one's a smaller guard. This one's very hard to get in camera, but it seems like the tang fills up the handle more. There's like some looseness here, and it seems like this one has a more substantial tang. And so nothing wrong with this one, but this one, it just feels beefier, it feels more robust, and it's putting a lot of tension on that Craton handle. All right, so great improvement over the years. Great fit and finish from the Taiwanese factory. They did not make a 40-34 version of this, so the 3V is all you can get. And let me tell you, if you can get this thing at about $250, what a heck of a deal. All right, so that's the comparison. Let's talk about the sheath that it comes with. It comes with a Secure X sheath, but I happen to get a, this is, you can't get this anymore. This is a Marbles Bowie sheath, just a general sheath, and I like to carry it in the leather sheath. And my favorite way to carry it is that stud, and I just do a cross draw, just like that. And so if I want to draw it, just like that, okay? And it's the same thing with the Secure X. Has a nice click. Mine stays very well. I know sometimes there's been issues with that. It comes with a belt retention. I don't like to put it on my belt. Again, I just like to slip it through the belt, cross draw, and when I'm ready to deploy it, just like that again. All right. And so this, if you're going to drop me off in Alaska, and you said, hey, you got to take one Bowie knife, okay? This is the Bowie I'm going to take. So Cold Steel, they make other great Bowies, but these are dedicated fighters. They will chop, but they're not primarily made for outdoor and chopping tasks. Here's the Laredo again, awesome Bowie. But this one, you can fight with it, you can survive, and it's going to stand up to the abuse. One of my favorite features is this Craton Grip. All right, these other Bowies, I love the grips on these two. These are the G10 versions. They are slick. Okay, it's a good grip. It's a fine grip, but they are kind of slick. And let me tell you, me and my brother, we've done a lot of sparring over the years. And let me tell you something. You want something that's going to stay in your hand, either when you're chopping or you're fighting. And let me tell you, this Craton is going to give you a really, really good chance. I got a little tip for you. So you might have noticed what's all that white stuff, that white powder on your handles. And what it is, it's liquid chalk, okay? And so I like to work out a whole lot. And if you put this liquid chalk on your hands, and then you rub the handle of your Craton, it's going to make it even stick even more. And this thing, it's not coming undone from your hand. And so me and my brother, through all of our sparring, you would be surprised how many times you're going to lose your knife when you're sparring. And so if you can have that sticky rubber Craton grip, it's going to give you a great advantage if you had to bet your life on a Bowie knife. We talked about the use. We talked about how this would be my favorite Bowie if you drop me off in Alaska. I also think this is something that me and my brother, we talk about a lot. When it comes to big game, I look up a lot of videos on that. And I remember several years ago, there was an employee at Blade HQ that was doing some hiking, and he came across a mountain lion, and the mountain lion actually chased him, okay?
No.
And he didn't have a knife on him, okay?
No.
After that experience, he uploads the video to YouTube. It went viral, okay? He went back to Blade HQ, and he got him a silly little Bugout knife, okay, from Benchmade. And you know, the Bugout's cool. This is a Demco 20.5, but it's a 3-inch blade. Okay, I guarantee you, I go walking all the time, and I go walking in Nacogdoches, Texas. It's legal in Texas. You can walk around with a Bowie knife just like that. No one's ever stopped me. I've actually had some conversations of people wanting to see the knife, and you know, of course, I show it to them and all that. But you know, if that mountain lion were to come at you, and you had this, that's going to give you so much of advantage when it comes to your hands, when it comes to a little puny Bugout. You can get in there, you can, that tip, it's thick, it's substantial, but yet it pierces like a dagger, all right? You can get into the cranium with this. You know, me and my brother, we actually test our knives on Porkman. We do a lot of testing, and let me tell you, having something like this Trailmaster Bowie, it can save your life, but you got to have it on you, all right? You got to be able to deploy it. And so that's that. I also want to talk about some Bowie knife fighting tactics. This won't be a full explanation, but again, me and my brother, we do a lot of sparring. We've done a lot of sparring over the years. Now, obviously, you have the edge, okay? Wrist articulation, that's going to save you a lot. Somebody's coming at my forearm, boom, I get the forearm out of the way, and I lay that nasty hair popping edge right on their arm and chop their arm off. I can chop their arm off and then go to their face. All right. And so another thing a lot of people don't talk about, or they just haven't thought about it before, is using the flats of your blade. Okay. They think about using the back cut, they think about using the primary edge, but they don't think about using the flats of their blades. You got to learn how to use the flats of your blades, because essentially what you have is a paddle that's 5/16 thick, a 3V still, okay? Even if this was in the sheath, and there's actually been an instance with a cold steel employee, I think they're at a gas station or something like that, and they had their Laredo Bowie in the sheath, boom. That's like a slapjack right there, okay? You get that across the temple, you'll put someone out on the ground. So even in the sheath, using the side of the blade, a Bowie knife can actually be very effective, okay? But when it comes to a fighting duel situation, okay, check this out, all right? That's the edge, that's how thin it is. The spine is a little bit thicker. Look how wide that is. That's almost 2 inches wide, okay? So you imagine someone's coming at me with a folder, you know, and if they got a cold steel Vaquero, they're doing pretty good, okay? They're coming at me. What if I just bully their blade with the flat of my blade right here, okay? I just, boom. Can you imagine how that's gonna feel? Okay, I could just bully it and make it go to the side, okay? I could possibly crash down real hard on it, and their blade's going to go flying out of their hand, okay? Then, okay, so the knife is going to be the closest thing to me. I can hit that, but what if I hit their knuckle, okay? What if I hit their knuckle with the flat of this? Their hand probably isn't going to be able to hold on. What if I hit their thumb, okay? And why am I teaching you this? When it comes to a knife fight, everybody knows how everybody else's body moves, okay? People know what this is going to be like. People know that they're not expecting the back edge so much, but that flat, that's going to increase your hit rate so much. When me and my brother would come out and we spar, I start using that flat, my hit ratio increases severely, okay? If I'm just counting on one aspect of this blade, this edge and this point, that would be 2 aspects, okay? A little bitty point, thin edge, it's a little bit wider, okay? But boom, just slap that blade, boom, slap their hand, back, okay, crash down. I promise you, if someone's holding on to a little puny folder, they're not going to be holding on to it for very long. Another thing that Lynn taught me is he taught me that when you're using a tomahawk, you need a companion blade with your tomahawk, all right? And this Cold Steel Trailmaster, it really makes the perfect companion to a fighting tomahawk. So if you're interested in fighting with a tomahawk, this Trailmaster is a great companion blade. Nothing wrong with the Natchez, okay? Nothing wrong with the Laredo. Nothing wrong with the Vaquero, okay? The folders, okay? But these handles, they can be quite slick. And if you have that Craton, especially if you have a little bit of that that liquid chalk on there, this thing isn't going to come out of your hand very easily. All right, and so you always want a companion Bowie when it comes to fighting with a tomahawk, and I'll tell you why. So this is a tomahawk that was modified. This is a Frontier Hawk that Matt Cornelius modified for me. This is actually a great Christmas gift that my mom got me one year, and I'll never get rid of it. But when you're using a tomahawk, okay, you come like this, whoop, and that's super heavy. Huh, you're just hanging out there in space, okay? You need this point, you need this edge to get people off, okay? Because when you hang out people are going to grab onto this beard, and yeah, you can pull, but they might disarm you, okay? And so again, this is just a slower moving object, all right? Have that blade there, okay? Another thing, you can use the flats of your Bowie, but you can also use the flats of your Tomahawk. You can be posed like this, they bring their edge in to stab you, boom, you hit that knife out of their hand, you cut, and then you finish them, okay? If they're not finished yet, you're posed, you're ready, right there, okay? So again, slap their blade, chop, finish, stab, push, okay? Very, very effective. Another thing that people don't think about with the Tomahawk is just boom, a quick little jab. You don't always have to have a big chop. You can just like that, okay? So slap their blade out of their hand, chop their arm, right to the head, right to the torso, push, okay? Get them away, get out of there, all right? So this is the Cold Steel Trailmaster. It's one of my favorite buoys. I love all of Cold Steel's buoys, but this is a really good one to have. If you just had one Cold Steel buoy to have, I would highly recommend the Trailmaster. I love my other fighting buoys, all right? But if I had one, this one can fight, this one can survive, its grip is super, super good, and it's a super deadly buoy. Get one today.